Rival gangs waging war on the streets outside of Selma. Tonight, WSFA 12 News goes behind the shootings. I'm Mark Bullock. Valerie has the night off. We are learning more about the motive behind this recent violence and the killings. And we're talking to authorities and residents who are now searching for an end to the brutality. The special report, new at 10 tonight, from our Lindsay Rogers.
Across the Alabama River, just outside Selma city limits, mounting gang warfare is wreaking havoc on the community. Retaliation is feeding the feud between gangs from the Selma area and the former Craig Air Force Base. Dallas County District Attorney Michael Jackson says it all started with a deadly shooting at the old base.
There was a murder a few months ago which has remained unsolved, and that's caused some escalating tensions between these gangs.
A drive-by last week on Highway 80 added fuel to the fire. These 4 men have been indicted in the case, accused of shooting into another car, killing 1 man and injuring 2 others inside. The DA says it was payback for a shooting earlier this month that injured the son of one of the suspects, Kevin Johnson Sr. Tensions between the 2 groups have grown so high that officials say whenever they see each other on the streets, brutal beatings and shootings are happening, putting themselves and innocent people in harm's way. Residents are calling for local leaders to step up and the community to unite to combat the violence.
There is a way, and the way is working together. Commissioners, mayors. If we can get some of that, sister, you'll see a change. But until that happens, we're in trouble.
There's going to be a major crackdown on those areas. We're going to run these gangsters up out of town.
A growing effort to put an end to the bloodshed. In Dallas County, Lindsay Rogers, WSFA 12 News.
Now, as you've heard, a number of arrests have already been made. We've reported them here on WSFA 12 News. But Dallas County's Violent Crime Task Force, made up of local, state, and federal agencies, say they do expect to arrest more.
Tonight, we're getting an inside look at how Dallas County authorities are working to tackle gang violence. The war between 2 neighborhood groups is having dangerous and deadly consequences. The 12 News Defenders first brought attention to the problem last week. New tonight, reporter Lindsay Rogers reveals the massive effort underway to get the players off the streets.
Rapping with a bevy of semi-automatic weapons and boldly posting it to YouTube. You're looking at small chunks of a more than 4-minute-long video of a Tipton gang operating in Selma, a neighborhood outside of Selma city limits. Dallas County investigators say the unsettling footage shows exactly what they're up against.
We're in the process of identifying some of these people, some of the main players in this.
Captain Mike Grantham with the Dallas County Sheriff's Office says the feud between neighborhood groups from Selma and the former Craig Air Force Base has led to a number of violent incidents, including fatal shootings in recent weeks, much of it fueled by retaliation.
What we have, our main objective and the things that we're fighting here are what we call neighborhood cliques, neighborhood gangs. It's a lot of wannabes, which are dangerous. I'm not downplaying them at all, but they're dangerous. They're just as dangerous, and in some cases more dangerous, because they're trying to make a name for themselves.
The community caught in the middle of it all.
I think if they patrol more, they can get a better hold on the problem now.
Along with allotting for overtime and increased patrols, the Dallas County Sheriff's Office is also teaming up with Selma PD, the DA's office, and the U.S. Marshals Gang Task Force out of Mobile to tackle the problem.
And we're going to combat this problem, and this is one of our main objectives right now. We're going to head this off before it does become a problem.
Local agencies teaming up with federal agents in an ongoing crackdown. In Dallas County, Lindsay Rogers, WSFA 12 News.
A community fed up with escalating gang violence finally seeing some results. Tonight, an inside look at the efforts by police to combat the problem in and around Selma as officers targeted a problem area as part of an ongoing operation to make the streets safer. Reporter Lindsay Rogers was there and has the story.
Only seconds into our ride along with authorities in Dallas County tonight, things kicked into high gear. In no time, agents had a man in custody they identified as an assault suspect. He was one of 5 arrested during tonight's raid by the Violent Crimes Task Force at the former Craig Air Force Base outside of Selma. Drugs were found as well as bullet holes in homes, evidence of the violence residents have been caught up in in the feud between neighborhood gangs from the old base and the Selma area.
Local agencies have been working with the feds to identify the players in this gang war, and now it's a matter of getting them off the streets.
The task force is also honing in on gangs inside the city of Selma. Arrests have already been made. Dallas County District Attorney Michael Jackson says he even received reports of a gang fight breaking out inside the Selma Mall today.
You should be able to walk the streets without having to worry about being shot at. You hear all this gunfire all the time. People are fed up, and I'm fed up.
Some residents thanked police for working to get a handle on things.
Every time I look around, they shooting up through him. Last night they shot through him. My grandkid had to get on the floor.
It's going to be an ongoing operation to make sure the lad gangster is off the streets.
A massive crackdown that's just getting started. In Dallas County, Lindsay Rogers, WSFA 12 News.
Several drug task force agencies and sheriff's departments joined Selma police and federal agents for tonight's roundup, an operation we're told will continue over the next few weeks.
Continuing coverage of a serious situation in Dallas County, community members are now joining law enforcement in the fight for safer streets. It's a growing effort to put an end to escalating gang violence just outside of Selma. WSFA 12 News has worked to shed light on this problem for weeks now, and we've given you an inside look at the police crackdown. Now, reporter Lindsay Rogers shows us how residents and other local leaders are taking a stand.
A show of community concern and support as police work to dismantle a gang war outside of Selma. Residents and local pastors joining with the DA, judges, and the sheriff's office to combat violence.
This is our community, and we have to empower ourselves to take charge of the community.
We need everybody's help.
A town hall meeting tonight at Tipton Middle School united citizens and officials to discuss the plan for tackling the gang problems plaguing Selmont and the former Craig Air Force Base. Groups from the two neighborhoods are clashing, leading to killings and other crimes on the streets. It has the whole area taking action.
We cannot write off our young people. They're reaching out to us as community leaders, as pastors, to help them and guide them.
School starts Monday in Dallas County, and the superintendent says security has been increased here at Tipton Middle and at Southside High, both located in the heart of the gang feud.
We provided some metal detectors, and we got extra staff on hands. Of course, the police will be visible, and so will the sheriff's department. There's too much going on in the communities, and typically that bleeds into the schools, and we're not going to let that happen.
I really believe that a whole new mindset needs to come about. There need to be a fear for God, and parents really need to focus on training their children.
It's going to take all of us.
An entire community working to make a difference. In Dallas County, Lindsay Rogers, WSFA 12 News.
The Selma Dallas County Violent Crimes Task Force is currently identifying and rounding up suspected gang members. They're working with local, state, and federal agencies in an ongoing operation. Multiple arrests have already been made. An update on our continuing coverage of a gang violence crackdown in Dallas County. Residents say they are seeing the results of police activity. And after at least a dozen arrests, the operation is also now getting the attention of the national law enforcement community. WSFA 12 News reporter Lindsay Rogers has the latest.
Guns, drugs, and suspected gang members off the streets. The Selma Dallas County Violent Crimes Task Force has been busy, making arrests all over Selma and in the surrounding area, where there's an open war between neighborhood gangs.
There's just no excuse for the gang activity we've had, and we're going to make sure that we don't have it anymore. We're making a lot of progress.
Among those arrested, Maurice Brown, who the DA says is one of the biggest gangsters in Selma. Residents are applauding the efforts. This man asked us not to show his face.
I think anything they can do is a plus. You know, it seemed like a little quieter.
The ongoing gang crackdown and our coverage of it has even caught the eye of a renowned investigator who's worked on the national gang profiling TV show called Gangland. He asked the DA's office and local law enforcement officials if they would consider hosting a large-scale gang training event.
The DA's office recently hosted a similar event, bringing together 60 officers from across the Black Belt to teach them how gangs operate and how to police them.
Hopefully we can become a model across the country on how to deal with gangs. You have to tackle gangs. You just can't ignore them.
Meanwhile, the push continues to get the community involved with town halls and church meetings and talks with school officials and students, all while local, state, and federal agencies continuously sweep the streets in the city and county, dealing a blow to local gangs. In Dallas County, Lindsay Rogers, WSFA 12 News.
The suspected gang members arrested face a range of charges from attempted murder and assault to drugs and weapons offenses.